Okay, welcome to ETN News. We're looking at the earthquakes. And yesterday, it was about the same, so there wasn't no use to bothering you with an update when it was about the same as it was, except for over toward New Zealand. It was packing up down that way on earthquake activity. All right, this is Hawaii. We have nothing significant. 2.2 on this side and a 2.1 over here around Mauna Loa. And on the 2.5s and greater, we have nothing. It's clear. Alaska, a lot of, not a lot, but just a little bit of small activity on 2.5s and greater. We only have one way over here, 2.5, and this is a 3.0 west southwest of Mosquito Lake, Alaska, 6.1 miles deep. So just about nothing. Same as over in Hawaii. We only got a couple over here. 3 actually, 2 in the same area. Alright, now let's look at these earthquakes. Now, do you remember when I was telling you about the pushing up here in this area around Vancouver Island and between Vancouver and Vancouver Island? It was showing a push here, and we talked about that. It seems like when we see this push, where the plates move so slow, it grows like it moves like your fingernail, growing that slow. So if you watch your fingernail, that's how slow they move. So when we see it pushing right here or anywhere else, sometimes it takes up to a month or so before we see the effects of it. So every time I warn about a push and nothing happens, lose views, lose subscribers. So I'm just going to back off from that. I'm going to try not to talk about that anymore because, it just, everything goes down. Donations, views, subscribers. It's just a mess. And it puts the channel in jeopardy. So I can't put the channel in jeopardy. So, these here, now we're seeing activity here where we saw the push. And over on the other side of the island, this is a 2.4 northeast of Firewinds, Canada, and a 2.3 on that side, 10.7 miles deep and 38.4 miles deep. It's just the same as Guatemala. We've seen activity down there, something pushing. It took like a little over a week. Got a 6.2 or something down there at that time, but where it didn't happen the next day. He's just lying to get views, so it's not counted. I get no credit from that. Now, up in Montana, around Craig, Montana, got a little bit of activity going on. There's 2.5 Yellowstone, just a couple of small ones, and let's see what else we got here. Got more activity around Bidwell, Nevada. And I don't see much going on with this fault that we talk about all the time coming down through here. Las Vegas, around Indian Springs, a small one. So, and look here at this. We talked about this about a week and a half ago, something like that. The San Andreas. I was talking about, it looks like it's starting to move. Something's starting to give down through here, and we're getting activity around San Francisco, 1.5, northwest of San Francisco Zoo, 7.7 miles deep. We had an earthquake here about a week and a half ago. Same area. This is the San Andreas. It's nothing to play with, but like I said, when we see it pushing or moving, if I can't say anything about it because I put the channel in jeopardy because it doesn't happen within 24 hours or the next day. It's hard to get it exactly right because you can't tell by it's moving so slow, like your fingernail or toenail growing. You don't know when it's going to occur, but when we see it pushing and activity increasing on that fault line, that means it's going to happen. It don't mean the next day, but I have to put out the warning right then, because it could happen the next day. It could happen an hour later. There's sometimes that I used to report 7.0s and 7 plus earthquakes on the way, and sometimes they would happen right as I done the update, or show the as soon as I start loading it, it does it, or it happens an hour or so after I do the update. But like I said, it's putting the channel in jeopardy. We only got like 130 some this month in donations, and not much at all on views. It's just hard to keep it going. Not complaining. Just don't even take that. Every time I say something, people unsubscribe. So doing this, doing that. I ain't even up to that. It's the truth. Truth is truth. Now we got a 1.5 southwest of Ridgely, Tennessee. And if I see an earthquake coming soon, I'll try to warn everyone that it's coming, and try to keep everybody up to date on what's going on. This here, right here in this section, believe it or not, people might not want to believe it, but you don't have a ring of fire around something if it's not one solid chunk of land. It's a continent. It's just marked different. The same thing goes over here. Continents. It's different sections that pushed in and joined together to make like the United States, North America. Okay, this here, we got this, and we got something. The Pacific Plate pushing on it, North American pushing on it. Right here is the danger zone right now on this side. Now the other side, we got some large activity every now and then, but deep quakes. This here is a 5.5, 285.3 miles deep. The other day we looked at all kinds of quakes here. About all of them except for one was deep, 300 some miles deep. That is deep. Okay, let's go on over here and check this out. 4.9 west of Cruz, Mexico, and 2.5 north of Craig, Montana, and a 3.4 rounded Virgin Islands, 24.5 miles deep. This down in here, we'll see more activity down in here from this, but it's going to be a later quake. New York, you'll see a large quake hit there. You'll see a large quake hit here, but like I said, you can't tell exactly when they're going to occur. When that chunk, it's like a straight line. Then you have a straight line over here with a big chunk sticking out. And when this is pushing against this, it'll push so much, and then it'll bust and jump. And then that's when it causes the earthquake and the tsunami. Okay, unless I can see it coming right then and there, just like we got now. I'm looking at the Cascadia. That's the reason I wanted you to watch the Cascadia for the next 5 to 7 days. I'd make that up to 10 days, because you don't know exactly when it's going to give or anything. Or just watching up to 10 days, that don't mean it could happen over here. 2 pieces could go over here solid. Then there could be a chunk sticking out on the side of one of these places, which we got hundreds and hundreds of miles of the ring of fire, and it busts loose over here somewhere and give over here. So that, people don't understand that either. They don't understand what I'm talking about. If it don't give over here, it has to give over here. The plates are pushing. Something has to give. Okay, we're watching for a large earthquake, 6.0 or greater in the next few days, maybe even bigger. And on top of that, we got this right here under pressure, where if this is pushing against each other, this could send a quake right down through the San Andreas, or it could just happen there, like around Vancouver Island or something. Up through the Cascadia. All right, this is the storms. Oscar, 35 mile per hour. It's still heading up toward the east, so I don't think we have much to worry about that, not unless it changes directions. Because over here on this side, it's going out and up. So this here, with the winds, which you got the land that causes the winds to go different directions, but this could go up and then start swerving back around, and hit the northern part of the East Coast. Well, you can see what a curve it gave right here. Stopped in its tracks and shot the other way. So it could just stop dead and go this way. You never know. We always got to be prepared and keep an eye on things just in case. Now over here, we got tropical storm, Mexico. Let me show you. Christie, 75 mile per hour, Category 1 hurricane. Supposed to go up to Category 3. And then by Friday, a major Category 4 major hurricane, 130 mile per hour. Then once it hits out in the open waters, away from the land where it comes down to where the wind can really circulate, it calms down. Winds hitting against each other. But we got high chance in 24 hours of something happening over here toward China, India, developing. This is a medium chance. That's a low chance. So this here, it could go any direction and it could form, which it looks like it's going downward. So it could go over toward the Philippines. Okay, here's your anomalies. You can see this section right here. We'll still show them, but ain't no use in talking about the heat and what it's going to do. But, everybody knows what it's going to do, and, it's, to some, it's fake news and puts the channel into jeopardy. So here's a line, there's a line, there's a line, and there's one over here going up. So we can see 4 right now. There's 5 altogether. Now let's go down to here. That's 24 hours. All right, let's go to 16th, starting out. You can see it right here. I just want to let you watch it move. Fire doesn't move, or the whole North America would be burnt into crisp right now. That's 16th. Watch it move. It moves over toward the east. I'm going through the days. All right, you see it move off the coast? Another one building up, moving behind it. Common sense, what does that tell you? I'll see you all in the next updates. Everybody stay safe, and we'll be watching, and I'll still be here trying to protect the public every which way I can.